The First World War, also known as World War I or the Great War, was one of the most significant and devastating conflicts in modern history. It lasted from July 28, 1914 to November 11, 1918 and involved many of the world's great powers, split into two main opposing alliances, the Allied powers and the Central Powers. Causes of the war. There were several underlying causes that led to the outbreak of the First World War. 1. Militarism. European countries had built up massive militaries and were engaged in an arms race, particularly Germany and Britain. Nations were ready to go to war and believed that military power was the best way to resolve disputes. 2. Alliances. Complex alliances formed between countries created a domino effect. If one nation was attacked, its allies were bound to join the conflict. Two major alliances were Triple Entente, France, Britain, and Russia. Triple Alliance, Germany, Austria-Hungary, and Italy, though Italy switched sides in 1915. 3. Imperialism. The European powers competed fiercely for colonies and global dominance, especially in Africa and Asia, which increased tensions between them. 4. Nationalism. National pride and ethnic tensions, especially in the Balkans, were very high. Slavic nations, supported by Russia, wanted independence from empires like Austria-Hungary. 5. The Spark, assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand. On June 28, 1914, Archduke Franz Ferdinand of Austria-Hungary was assassinated in Sarajevo by Gavrilo Princip, a Serbian nationalist. This event triggered Austria-Hungary to declare war on Serbia, and due to the alliance system, the conflict quickly escalated into a world war. Major countries involved. Allied powers, France, Britain, Russia, Serbia, Belgium, later joined by Italy, 1915, Japan, and the United States, 1917. Central powers, Germany, Austria-Hungary, Ottoman Empire, and Bulgaria. Nature of the war. The First World War was characterized by trench warfare, particularly on the Western Front, where soldiers lived in deep trenches for months or even years. The war introduced many modern weapons and technologies. Machine guns that could fire hundreds of rounds per minute. Tanks and airplanes, used for the first time in battle. Poison gas, like chlorine and mustard gas, which caused horrifying injuries. Submarines, U-boats, used by Germany to disrupt Allied shipping. The war caused enormous loss of life and destruction. Battles like the Somme, Verdun, and Gallipoli became infamous for their scale and human cost. Role of the United States. Initially, the United States remained neutral. However, in 1917, it entered the war on the side of the Allies due to several reasons. German unrestricted submarine warfare, which sank American ships. The Zimmermann Telegram, where Germany encouraged Mexico to attack the U.S. The arrival of fresh American troops in Europe helped turn the tide in favor of the Allies. End of the war. By late 1918, the Central Powers were ex.